Hi, my name is Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. Antrum, the deadliest film in the world. Apparently, a lot of you guys want me dead because a lot of you, and I mean a lot, for the past few months have been asking me to review this film. Antrum, the deadliest film in the world, starts as a documentary, showing interviews from people who claim to know about this infamous film that has disturbed all of those who watched it. Some even claimed that this cursed film took lives. The film in question is then presented to the viewer in its entirety. It's almost like a little hype pre-roll before the film. Antrum itself is shot in the 70s, and it follows a boy who is in distress over the recent death of his dog. He and his sister then proceed to go on a journey deep into the woods as an attempt to bring back his dog's soul. When you strip away all the hype and marketing, the recreation of a 70s film that involves such an unnerving plot is something I'd watch on its own. Much like The House of the Devil or Love Witch, a film that's made to look like it's from a different era is always something fresh and exciting to me. Especially with horror, because I find pairing the 70s nostalgic factor, also the way those films look aesthetically, with what we find unnerving today to be really unique when it's brought together. It's making something that really feels different in a way that it's self-aware. And furthermore, Antrum blends religious themes, satanic imagery, the danger of the wilderness, and of course, a young innocent boy's desperation. All of these themes are so powerful, yet the storyline is so simple, and that's the genius of it. But unfortunately, I find the film does a disservice by hyping itself. It's the opposite of letting the floor unexpectedly drop underneath the audience, like we see in some modern films. This film is promising the audience an unnerving feeling, a scary story that, quote, gets under your skin. And although the film is definitely stirring, it relies on heavy splices and post-editing techniques to give that deadly feel. This includes intentional glitching, transparent overlays of demons in the background, symbols, and creepy writing spliced in. This film is also exaggerated in its stylization, trying to mimic the vintage feel. The film has a lot of noise, hair, and scratches within the film itself, and of course, cigarette burns. But the film does hold tension, and if you hang around to the full credits scene, you'll see this explained. They talk about audio and visual techniques within the film and how that can make it feel unnerving, and I think probably the best aspect of this in the film was the ominous music. But ultimately, for me, it was the message behind Antrum that disturbed me the most. Without giving spoilers, there are a couple of aligning messages within the film talking about religion and how people can use religion and scare tactics as an advantage, which is kind of what the film does in itself. It's hyping up the idea of this deadly film and then go in with this existing belief, which this probably would have worked 20 years ago, but not so much now. It also incorporates this idea that I've been thinking about a lot lately, which is the great unknown and how scared and terrified we are of something we can't understand, when the true real-life demons of the world walk among us as humans. The whimsical vibe of the woods, the innocent story of a boy and his dog mixed with satanic vibes, finished off by a top and tail of the film being cursed. Antrum is like The House of the Devil meets the Blair Witch, although it's tuned way down and it lets the silence and the subliminal messages do all the talking. This film really sold me as a 70s piece, and if I had watched it as it was one, I would have absolutely loved it. It's really hard for me to score this film because on one side, I love anything that's kind of documentary, mockumentary based, and putting that into a horror movie. And I also love the 70s feel of this film, and I love the acting and the whole idea about a boy and his loss of his dog and trying to find his soul. I think that that's super interesting. I love religious themes in horror movies, but putting it all together, although it seems quite genius, I felt like it kind of did the film a disservice because it was so good by itself, and it just felt like there was too many different elements to play. But I do think it's highly interesting and highly entertaining, even if you want to just watch Antrum, the film by itself without the top and tail. I still think that's a great film. This one was really hard for me. I want to go in between a 6 and a 7, and I might actually give it a 7. This film was actually rated really low on IMDb. I think that a lot of people went in expecting a lot, and I think a lot of people are kind of mad at this marketing tactic at this point. I would be really interested to see what you guys think. For originality, I'm going to give it a 5. I think that it blended a lot of different aspects in, but they were not original. And for scare, I'm going to give it a 4. I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say about this film. I'm really interested. I know a lot of you guys probably won't like this one, but I want to hear what you thought about the film filmmaking and how they put the production together. And if you like that kind of thing, if you're into mockumentaries, if you're not, if you wish they were separate pieces, let me know. I can't wait to see what you guys think. Leave them below in the comments. And please, if you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. I do think it's worth your time. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay spooky. Bye.